Well, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We're here for the instant match reaction, which is football takeover. Arsenal 1, Burnley nil. Um, 3 points needed, 3 points delivered, but boy, that doesn't tell the story. And we're gonna get into it in tonight's stream. So yeah, obviously I'm joined by the crew. I think we're expecting are we expecting the OG Brenny, Ali?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be, at
Cool,
some point. He's
cool,
probably still getting his heart back into
cool.
his chest.
No problem, no problem. But in the meantime, obviously we're joined
Pathetic.
by Dodsy, Geeks, Big and Ali. We're not gonna do how we're feeling because I think right now
Fuming.
it's a madness. It's a madness. Um, I can't even. I'm gonna just hand over to you lot because I'm just gonna kind of get myself together before I can kind of actually summarize what I've just seen, but also how I'm feeling because it's crazy right now. So yeah. Who wants to go first? I'll come to you, Big Ant. Um,
Mm.
so let us, let us have it. Instant match reactions. I tend to not focus too much on the lineup and stuff like that. I like to just get the raw kind of emotional feelings, obviously post game. Big Ant, kick us off. Talk about the performance, how you're feeling right now. Yeah, go for it, bro.
Yeah, disclaimer. Yeah, eyes mash up. So after this, I'm gonna put myself on um displaying it. But yeah, just a disclaimer. If everyone's on in, yeah, cysts underneath my eye. What the fuck is this manager thinking? Seriously, what the fuck was he thinking? You had a winning formula.
Mm.
You had a winning formula.
Performance formula.
Yeah, Gyökeres, Saka, Trossard, MLS, Declan Rice. Why in the blue hell are you going to experiment with Eze, Odegaard, Havertz up front? Really? Really? Like, I know they're going to do they got nothing, Burnley's got nothing to play for. They're going to do a low block, etc., etc. But this manager just pisses me off. Why are you experimenting? Like, why are you experimenting in this game? Yeah, the first 20 minutes, Havertz just frustrated me until he got a goal. Yeah, well played, you got the goal, but Jesus Christ, that performance it was shit. I'm sorry, that performance was dog shit.
It was.
Part of my, part of my language, if there's any kids watching this, but
Go
I'm
ahead, man.
pulling as it is. The performance was rubbish. Like, what were we doing? And again, how can Martinelli, you're a youngster and you're letting a 35, 36-year-old man outpace you?
Hey, Kyle Walker's got some pace on him still, boy.
Listen, look. I don't listen. I don't care if he's got pace on him. How you letting a 35-year-old outpace you, bro? Pulling on your shirt and outpacing you. But the referee again, I felt some decisions, this referee was just taking the piss. Like, seriously, I thought he was taking the piss. Like, seriously. If this was any other referee, we would have had one or two penalties because the way that the Berlin players are doing is just trying to pull man's shirt, pull down. I see him Capia getting boxers pull down and all them things. I'm just like,
That was jokes, bro.
you know what
Man,
I'm saying?
Ali,
Like,
batty
literally,
out a
you know what I'm
door.
saying? Man, literally pulled down.
Nothing but cheeks, mate.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you
You
know
know what I'm
what? One thing I
saying?
will
Like,
Yeah.
say, one thing I will say, yeah, is I jumped on X, yeah, when that happened.
Oh, I was like,
If
yo.
you see the girl Arsenal fans, they were tweeting like crazy. Hey, big
That's
up Happy
another
Habib,
reason to
man.
keep pull your shorts up because he stepped in the
Big up,
guy's
big up,
shorts
big up,
and that's
big
why he
up,
slid off.
big up
so
Big Happy.
again,
So
you know what I'm saying? Again, that performance is just like, it was a terrible performance.
Oh
Regardless of
my
the fact we got
god.
a 3 points, it was a terrible performance. Like, again, are you trying to self-sabotage?
I know.
Are you trying to self-sabotage? Like, You're experimenting. Why? You had
I have
8
a
days.
theory, Anthony. I've got a theory on why.
You have 8 days. You haven't played for 8 days. You've been watching other teams play, etc., etc. But you want to experiment now? Really?
So yeah, so Anthony's not happy, obviously, with the performance. I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna jump in here. I gotta be honest, like I don't fault anything what Anthony has said. You know what it is with me, yeah? It's like all week I've been seeing Arsenal are going to trounce Burnley. We're going to beat them 4-0. We're going to beat them 5-0. People in my DMs asking me, like, you confident? You optimistic? I said, look, I'm not saying nothing. You see me, yeah? Until I see red and white ribbons on this fucking Premier League, yeah? I'm not saying a word at all because I've never been a superstitious person. I'm not a superstitious person. I'm a God-fearing man. So I'm not superstitious, but I just can't say it. I just can't believe it until it actually happens. So, but what I did feel was I felt the complete opposite. I felt like if we are to win this league this season, we're gonna scrape it. We're gonna scrape it by the skin of our teeth. And I've been feeling that for a while. I didn't see us steamrolling Burnley tonight.
No.
I thought it was going to be a nervy game. I think every single game until the end of the season, win it or not, is going to be a really, really nervy scenario and situation. So I wasn't surprised by the performance at all. I think that's why I'm maybe not as disappointed as many of you might be or appear to be, because I expected this to be a hard game. I thought we would make hard work of this match. I think we've made hard work of quite a few games similar to this type of fixture. So I kind of expected it. But on the flip side of it, as poor as the performance was, um, we grafted out a victory. We grafted out a 3 points. And at this stage of the season, I'll be honest, everything else is absolutely irrelevant. We've got ourselves to a position where we are now we are 90 minutes away from winning the Premier League, the first Premier League in 22 years. I'm not even gonna even touch upon tomorrow because if it happens tomorrow, it happens. If it don't, it don't. This is in our hands. Doesn't matter how many goals City score. Doesn't matter if they go to Bournemouth tomorrow night and win. At the end of the day, we are 90 minutes away from winning the league. If we win all our remaining fixtures or our remaining fixture, we win the Premier League. It's in our hands. And if we had been asked the question at the beginning of the season, with one game to go, away to Palace to win the league, would you take it? 100% I'd take it. I'd 100% take it. And so I'm not defending the performance. The performance was not great. We'll get into that a little bit later when we start to talk about players and tactics and so forth. But right now, all I want is 3 points. I go into the game and I just need them to win. We just need them to win. And I think what we're suffering from is the same thing what the players are suffering from. I think as an Arsenal fan right now, for me, it's like I'm suffering from this PTSD because even at this moment in the season, I'm thinking to myself, can we bottle it? Can we drop points? Are we gonna mess this up? And I think these players, whether you think it's warranted or not, they are nervy. They are nervous. They're on the brink of history. A club of our size, over 2 decades, we've not won the league, and I think you can see it. But ultimately, they had a job to do tonight, and they got the job done. It's in the grand scheme of things. If we don't drop points, it's irrelevant whether we win this game 15-0, whether we win this game 1-0. We've just got to win our games. So, in summary, for me, without going into too much detail, was it the performance that we wanted? No. Was it the performance I expected given the context of the game? Me, personally, yes. I saw this coming. I envisioned this type of performance. But I come back to the main point. For me, we needed 3 points. We got the 3 points. Pressure is now back on City to step up. and actually put in a performance tomorrow night and see if they can take this to the last game of the season. The one thing I will say is, and I was saying this to Dodsey off stream, if this somehow goes to the last game of the season, I genuinely don't know if I can watch. Like, I genuinely don't know if I can watch, because that was so uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable from the first kick to the last. Even when we scored, I don't know about you lot. I don't know about you lot, because I'm different sometimes. I didn't even celebrate. Like, I had this little like, come on, all right, good. But I didn't go crazy, because for me, I needed the second goal. I needed the cushion of the second goal for me to actually relax. At no point in that game, even initially after we scored, did I feel relaxed. I was absolutely on edge throughout the entire 98 minutes or so. So yeah, in summary, poor performance, good result, we move. I just wanted to kind of balance it a little bit more, because I know Anthony obviously is feeling how he's feeling, and absolutely right. I agree with a lot what he said, but at the same time, we got the job done. And right now, that is the most important thing for me. I'll come to you, geeks. We've obviously got Brenny. Just want to big up Brenny, obviously coming in from backstage. Big up Brenny. We'll come to you in due time. Geeks, you've obviously heard from Big Ant. You've heard from me. Give us your honest perspective of like how you're feeling, how the game went. Just give us the raw post-match reaction and thoughts.
My raw reaction is, I can't remember now. I completely echo and endorse what you said there, G, about at the end of the day, we're 3 points closer to the title. That at the end of the day, with anything that else is going to come out of my mouth, is the most important thing, because that's what we've got to remember. That's the big positive, because we could have played beautiful today and lost 3-2, you know? So at the end of the day, we got the 3 points over the line. I do want to agree with you on that one. Now on to the gripe. I'm convinced that today was not anything to do with that was going to unlock teams and this, that, and the other. It almost feels like Arteta is trying to save Havertz and Odegaard. And that was, if you two have a great game today, I can justify not selling you in the summer or whatever. It honestly feels that way, because what we got out of them, Havertz came up with the goal, right? And so ultimately, what could be is that if they drop points to Bournemouth, then Havertz has scored the goal that won us the Premier League, right? That's the crazy thing, isn't it? That awful performance. Now, here's the thing. This is and I know Bren might disagree with me here, but this is potentially the greatest season in Arsenal's history. Never before have we been top of the table English champions, a finalist, a quarter finalist, and in the top final of Europe. We've never done that before. We all should be on easy street. We all should be celebrating, and the sky's blue and sun's shining. But it has been the worst season for me of watching Arsenal. I knew before that game started that I've had so little joy watching us because of these 1-0s, 2-1s, because it's on a knife edge. And I've spoke loads about these reactions, about the negative energy that it takes us as fans, because you're on the edge. I was on the edge there for over 100 minutes, including extra time. Right? And what that does to your stomach, what that does to your mood. Me and my son are just like, oh my gosh, what does it do to the players? Right? And so Odegaard, I've got to come back to him in that performance. Saka, apart from delivering the ball, my concern with what I saw there was that you've got Trossard, who had one of his better games in an Arsenal shirt, one of our best players on the pitch tonight. Mosquera, unfortunately, he was one of our best players too, albeit when he had kept laying down, he laid down about 4 or 5 times in the space of the match, and then some of the defending this game really gave me kittens. It really did. It's almost like they're sometimes interested in impeding the man rather than winning the ball. So me and Brenny keep getting into it with a couple of people about our defenders. I love them. Okay, I love them. However, I do feel like sometimes they're wrestling the man too much, which compromises them making contact with the ball and getting it out. You know, and sometimes they don't make the best decision. Like Saliba compromised his body shape. That ball came over. He should have been able to head that forward. It went sideways for a throw in. We're back under pressure. And so when we get nervous at the back and they're not doing what I feel they should be doing, it seeps through the team because that's our strongest aspect. And I think it comes from there. It's really got to be a confident display and stop getting forward too much. There's times when we were 1-0 up, taking a step towards the title. And if the ball had broken down, our right back and our centre back was in the box and we was exposed at the back. And it's like, well, where's the logic? What is that? Yeah. And I think where the speed we play football, that was a relatively easy game for Burnley tonight because we didn't ask many questions. We didn't have them under the hammer. And oh my gosh, the difference when Gyökeres came on. Pushed them back. And so I feel really frustrated. We can pull it apart. I don't think Arteta got the lineup right today. I don't think the emotional temperature was right. We are very lucky we've got Declan Rice.
Sensational again.
That was a captain's performance. He's telling people. Do you remember when Saliba and Gabriel in the second half were passing it among each other? He's bawling out Gabriel. Like, what are you? Even though we came out with the ball, Saka does not look like a man that's going to impose himself right now. There was a load of times with Odegaard moving forward. I likened this guy to Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United fans, I'm sorry. Because there were so many times when Bruno Fernandes in that position will try to make something happen, either with a ball forward or taking a shot. And if we keep doing the too many passenger thing with players not vibing with this system or not delivering in this system, it's going to be a real tough game at Palace. I'm still fit. There's something in my head that says 1-1, and I hope I'm wrong. Touch wood, I'm wrong. But we've got to start kicking on in the chat. We've got the Champions League. We've got Palace. 2 games left. These boys have got to stop playing like they are scared to lose rather than be angry at the thought of losing. It's a different mindset. Get out there and win the bloody league. Give the fans something to cheer for, to get behind, to feel passionate over. The fans in the stadium looked a wreck after them. Did you see them? The crowd shots. And it has been, and this is the thing. I felt like I should have enjoyed this season far more than what I have, considering where we find ourselves. And I think that's the biggest tragedy, because I think there's a lot of Arsenal fans that can identify with what I'm saying. And it's ludicrous. We're 90 minutes away from 2 major trophies.
The crazy thing is, before I jump on to the next one, thank you, Geeks. I think you make some really valid points. And I think this goes back to, obviously, like even the Ian Wright comments, because I know Ian Wright came under a lot of stick from some sections of the Arsenal fan base. And I saw something the other day on social media, and it was a guy called Cam. He's a United fan. I actually like quite of his content. He seems quite fair. But he said, like, I've never known a fan base to be so miserable despite their team doing so well. And I think, just to play kind of devil's advocate here, it's like, obviously we've all been critical, including myself. So I'm not flipping all of a sudden. I'm just trying to do the job of a host. You know, when you kind of look at it, like, we've all criticized our style of play, we've criticized our approach in certain games, we've criticized performances, as we're doing now, even though we've come away with the 3 points and we've got the job done, which we're not taking away from the team and obviously the coach. At the same time, it's like, do you not look at, like, do we not sometimes take a step back and say, actually, this is a formula that's got us to the Champions League final. This is a formula that's got us to within 90 minutes of the Premier League. Why have we not, just as a fan base, accepted this is the way we play? This has brought us historically the most wins we've ever had in a league season. We are on the verge of potentially winning a Premier League as well as the Champions League. So it is a really, really tricky scenario because I'm very much, everything you're saying, I'm agreeing with 100%. I'm like, we're in the Champions League final, we're on the verge of potentially winning a Premier League, and yet we're not filled with excitement, we're not filled with joy, we're not filled with ecstasy, which is what we should be.
Yeah.
We should be feeling that. So it is a tricky one. So I mean, I just kind of put that question out there. Maybe we can kind of delve into that a little bit once we've heard from obviously Brenny, Dodsey, and Coach Ali. I'll come to you, Dodsey. Talk to me. I mean, you've heard from me, Big Ant and Geeks. I mean, talk to me. What did you make of the performance? How are you feeling? Obviously, now the final whistle's gone, and we've actually, we had a job to do tonight, and we got it done.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We got the win. The 3 points. We all would have taken 3 points tonight. However it comes, we take the 3 points. But I just, for anybody that doesn't know me, I went through a pretty horrible, horrendous divorce. And my wife and my ex-wife never spoke until about a week ago. And my ex-wife came into my house and stood in my kitchen with my wife in the kitchen. And she kind of came in with my son, dropping him off. And I didn't even invite her in my house. She just walked into my kitchen, and my wife was there, and she was there. And I literally didn't know what to do. I opened the fridge and just put my head in the fridge. I was like, I don't even know what to do. And I actually felt more comfortable in that situation than watching that football.
Well, that's a bar. That is a bar.
Bars on bars.
I'm telling you now, right? That is possibly one of the most uncomfortable things I have watched this season, because I've sat here, I've chewed through
Hold on. And that was so sick. Honestly, what you know what? That was hats off. That was a brilliant way of summing up that game. Continue. Oh man.
I do not understand how we always create these problems for ourselves as a football team. And as a married person. It's the same analogy as my divorce this season, mate. It is literally down to how uncomfortable I can feel in the whole season.
Oh, man.
I don't understand. We can talk about this. Oh, we face a low block, mate. They don't pass the ball quick enough. Even Deckers is doing it. He's standing on the ball. I'm saying, pass the ball. Just pass it. Yeah. Just pass it forward. But and I don't want to come across negative, because I'm happy inside, but I know that I'm going to have to watch that on the weekend. I'm going to have to watch that against Palace. I might just invite my ex-wife round. We can all just sit and watch it together, mate. Just make it the most uncomfortable thing in the world. It's as simple as that. I don't know. Everyone's sick. And I'm sure we'll dive into everything in a minute. But just the pure uncomfortableness is the only way I can put it.
Facts,
it's
man.
Just uncomfortable.
You
cannot tell me that Arteta's standing on the sideline going, I fucking love this. This is awesome. This is what I want. He can't. He must be sitting there, because if before the game, and I said everyone listening, I apologize to everyone in the chat and stuff. Man, I probably had about 7 shits today, nervous about this game, right? And that's serious. And then I have to sit here and watch that for 99 minutes, mate. Come on.
Oh, man.
Mate, I don't know if I can watch next week. I hope something happens tomorrow night, and then maybe I'll watch the game. But I can't watch that next week, because if you play like that, and I'm sorry, I have full faith in the guys. Kind of.
I hear I hear
But
you.
if we play like that against Palace, we're not going to get a win against Palace if we're playing like that.
Facts, man. Bro, one thing I will say before I come to Brennan, because I'm gonna come to you last, coach. We need to send over them timestamps, boy, and get that one clipped up. Real talk, because that was
it's gonna get
when
clipped. Don't worry. Don't worry.
When Dozzy started talking, I was thinking,
Where's he
like,
taking this? I thought,
Where you
oh,
going,
shit,
man? Where
what's
you going?
happened here?
like, I know that was an uncomfortable watch, but boy, like, you know what I mean? He's
Mate,
giving
that was
us,
one.
like,
That was and all of that was 100% the truth as well. What
no,
happened?
bruv, trust me. As you can
So
see in
I'm
the
like,
comments, like, first of all, it was absolutely hilarious, but it was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. I
Oh,
mean,
mate.
it was that uncomfortable to watch
it
that I can
was so
imagine.
uncomfortable.
I completely agree with what you're saying. I mean, I can
With my
understand.
head in the fridge,
A lot of
it
people
had the same
related.
feeling,
A
except
lot
actually
of
I'm
people.
sweating more now than I was in there.
Yeah, a lot of people related to that. So yeah, big up Dodgy for that still. Brainy, I'm gonna come to you. I mean, talk to us, man. Post-match reaction. Give it to us. You know, obviously, you know, you're kind of how you feeling with regards to report performance, how you feeling now. Obviously, the final whistle's gone. And we've extended our lead. And obviously over to City tomorrow night. Talk to us.
Well, it's funny because I was doing paperwork and watching the game at the same time. That's why I'm a little bit late. Sorry, I'm late, guys. I mean, I just literally just got in from work, so I watched the rest of it. You know what? It was an uncomfortable watch. Don't get me wrong. Like everyone on here, right? I'm happy with the 3 points. I'm ecstatic with the 3 points.
Trust.
But you know what? There's no secret, man. I take blood pressure medication, right? I take 3 tablets, and the way Arsenal got me this season. By summer, I'll be taking 6, and you know what I mean. It's like
Mate.
it was just scary stuff. And for me, right now on the performance, I'll talk about the performance because it wasn't a good performance tonight, but there were some individuals I was happy with. I'm always happy with the back four. Nick he was right. We've spoke about it a few times, and we've always agreed with regards to the centre halves and what they do sometimes. You know, their quality. They don't have to be grabbing everyone and throwing them all over the place. You know, like they're judo specialists. They don't have to be doing that. But for me, I was happy with Trossard. Trossard seems to have found his mojo again. And we're going to need gonna need him for seriously. We're going to need him Sunday if
that's what
City
happens, man.
do
When you get a toxic partner at your life, boy, start balling.
Right,
bro.
right.
You know what I'm
Quite
saying?
right.
And he's with Anne Hathaway at the present moment. So you know what I'm saying?
Is he dropping on Anne Hathaway? What a legend! Keep it.
She's taking one for the team.
Did it? Yeah, did it? It'd be the sequel, the Trossard Wears Prada 3. It'll be out in a couple of years. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy with Trossard. I'm so happy, and I was praying he won't get it taken off, but I thought he did a job today. Gyökeres, when he came on, it looked different. You know what I mean? Saka. There's one thing about Saka that I think he needs to do at times is when say for example, like Declan Rice had a free kick today, right, in the first half, and Saka just went wide, and I was thinking, Saka, why don't you just, we're 1-0 up, why don't you just get him in the middle with the boys and see if you can, get someone gets a touch and you can just go, and go for goal. But it's like there's this thing where I feel he doesn't always have to stay wide. I think he should, you know what I mean, at least come in and take risks sometimes. And also the fact we invited Burnley. I think, why are we inviting Burnley? Shouldn't be inviting them because at all. You know what I mean? And I was just, what worries me, it's not the fact that we can get over the line no matter how ugly we do it. I'm desperate. I just want this season done. I'm tired. Yeah. And I just want, you know what? I know we've been saying in the chat, we've all been saying it where, don't need anyone else to, rely, to help us get over the line by other teams beating City. Well, tomorrow I want Bournemouth to at least
be nice, wouldn't it?
Get a point, because then if that happens and we can end up as champions tomorrow, well, you know what I mean? That would be fantastic for one, and secondly, we can then play without pressure against Palace. I think we'll beat. Well, I think we'll beat Palace if we're champions tomorrow. I think we'll beat Palace on Sunday, and then Champions League. I just want to see some form with the players. And nothing wrong with the defense. I'm not. The defense doesn't bother me. It's just the scoring goals part because I don't want it to be. I want us to get a few goals today because we haven't got two. We hadn't prior to today. We didn't have 2 games left. We had 3 games left, guys. And for me, the Paris Saint-Germain game, that's going to be a different kettle of fish altogether. I just want the players to carry some form up to that Champions League final.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's what concerns me, guys. And
we just made Burnley look like prime Barcelona, mate.
I know. Yes, exactly.
I'm not even worrying about the PSG game yet. That is another stress.
But guys, what I will tell you from a personal point of view, listen, the job is done, right? And over the moon with the 3 points. But what I will tell you, for me, if we win the league tomorrow or Sunday, this will be my 6th. Since I've been alive, this will be my 6th Premier League. Sorry, 6th Premier League top flight because there's 2 first divisions and this will be the 4th Premier League. So let's say 6 top flight. Yeah,
guys. Be the same for me. Yeah,
it'll be a 2. But in the other ones, the feelings were different. I mean, 89 was very tense. I remember when we had Derby, Wimbledon, and Liverpool left with 3 games. We did it the hard way. That 90 minutes at Anfield as a 14-year-old was very tense. I've said early in the season, I would say, we're going to win the league. We're going to win the league, and then we did fought a bit, and then we did. 1991 was a very comfortable season for me as a high school kid. I was like 16, and it was a comfortable season. These George Graham teams. Not many people know this, but they were attacking teams that defended well. You know what I mean? 18 goals conceded in 1991. Yeah. I felt it was very comfortable throughout that entire season where we dominated teams, only losing to Chelsea, and it felt very good. It felt great. And then 98 we caught up. I think United were about 13 points ahead of us, and
10,
basically did what we did. Yeah. So I know many will remember that, and I don't know how it felt for you guys back then, but for me it just felt. I said to myself, after that Old Trafford, I said, "Look, man, we look unstoppable. We're gonna catch up with them. We're gonna win this league," and that's exactly what we did. 2002, even though we had 3 home losses, it still felt good. We had Bolton away, and they made it tough for us, but we were playing well. And I said to myself, you know what? We're going to break them down. And then it was Dennis Bergkamp who opened them up, I think, with 2 assists. I think it was Freddie Ljungberg and Silva and Walter scored. It just felt comfortable. And then the Old Trafford game, and there was myself and Damos right here, and Canners. And the 3 of us were confident that we were going to win that game at Old Trafford, and we did. The Invincibles, we won that before games to spare. All those, for me, this has been just as tense as the 89 season for me, and the other seasons where in the leagues, right? It didn't feel that way at all. And even though it looks like, we're 90% sure we can get over the line now, because obviously, that's gone up tenfold from getting the result tonight. But I just feel, with all I can say with the manager is that, I know he believes in his team, his squad. We all do, but I think if he'd have let them, really, really play a day and attack, I still don't think Burnley would have beaten us. But but like I said, I'm happy with the 3 points, and I've got nothing to moan about except for, like I said, I'm just concerned with the form leading up to the PSG game. That concerns me. Yeah, because I'm like all of you on here, I know, and in the chat, we're all desperate to win that.
Yeah, 100%. Right, Coach, talk to me, bro. I mean, you've heard from everyone, including myself, at this point. You've had some time to obviously process the performance, the result, hear from the panel, hear from myself. So yeah, let us know how you're feeling at this moment in time.
I think the best thing about that game was Hincapie's arse cheeks coming out.
X-rated.
This is
Literally.
Fuck
me.
This is
so
right now.
I'm like obviously I've listened to you all, and like I said this, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit, because I said, look, if we win the next 3 games 1-0 and Man City win their 3 games with a plus GA of 40, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. But the point is, the reality. Yeah, so I did. I've said that. So I'm happy we've got the 3 points. I think we were going to win the league. It's not a problem. But my issue here is, just to clarify for you guys, my heart rate didn't go up or down once, because I've mentally prepared myself since the end of February that there's no point of getting high and low with this team, and we're solid at the back, but that's about it. So these performances are not surprising me. I'll be shocked and surprised if we don't end up winning the Premier League. Then you might see a different side to me. But at the moment, I'm very calm. My heart rate's good. My blood pressure didn't go up once through those 7 minutes, 9 minutes, wherever it was, because I expect us to be winning these games, but it's how we're doing it is the problem. Like everyone has said, Brenny, Dylan, others, Anthony said it on here. The lineup, I'm not fussed. Like today, for today's game, I was more than happy for Havertz start up front.
You said
Eze and Odegaard. That makes sense to me, because you're playing against a team that are relegated. You're playing against a side that you're trying to rack up 3+ on the goal difference. But the reality is, I just don't think these players are performing to the levels what even Mikel Arteta would really want, to be quite honest, from an attacking point of view. Huffing and puffing, get around the box is very slow, very laid back, like we've already won the league. Very arrogant in the attacking third for no reason, in my opinion. And I just feel like if he really want, I think we know that. In my personal opinion, Gyökeres will start against Crystal Palace, and Mars Uskeri will start in midfield instead of Odegaard or Eze. That's my personal opinion, because that's our best 11, and that was the only time we've got more than 2 goals in this run was against Fulham. We haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game since January or February. So again, what are we expecting? We are expecting better performances. We are expecting. I don't think Arteta's changed the philosophy, or he was experimenting today. I just think it's down to these players to obviously keep their mental on point, which they have from a defensive point of view. But offensively, they feel like they're a bit, I don't know, gun shy, lack of confidence. But how can you have a lack of confidence in front of goal if you're not creating chances? It doesn't make sense to me. So it's going to be nervy for a lot of people on Sunday, this Sunday coming. But I think we win. I think we win by 2 goals on the weekend. I think Palace might rest a few and things like that. But even if Man City win tomorrow, I will be extremely disappointed if we don't beat Crystal Palace.
Yeah, facts.
That's where I am. That's my mindset. I want 85 points. Then we can break it down and do whatever we want afterwards. But I've understood what this team is about, and obviously their grit. That's 19 clean sheets in the Prem now. Let's hope we can make it 20.
Phenomenal, really.
Let's hope we can make that 20 out of 38 games on Sunday. And this comment about full gas, is it full gas just defending full gas? Is it full gas just, win? Is it full gas with the mentality? What is it? Like Dodsley just pointing to his head and stuff. But for me, when you say full gas, to me, my interpretation of that is right. You're gonna have a strong defense. We're gonna be aggressive and ruthless in our play, going up towards the attacking third of the pitch, and then we're gonna be clinical in front of goal. But it feels like we're full gas at the back, and then as we slowly go through the pitch, the gas runs out, and then you run out of nothing, and it's a strange way of playing football. But obviously, this really feels like the 1990s and the Italian sides and the German sides. So this has been going on for decades. This is not new football. For Arsenal fans that are under a certain age, this is a culture shock to the Arsenal philosophy and how we play football. But listen, I'll take it, but it's not gonna do. Imagine, right? We're into the final embers of the league, and something crazy happens. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to jinx anything, but imagine the uproar that's gonna be, because there's one way of, like, there's a way of, for example, if you're in a fight or something like that, at least try. At least try, and then the fans can be like, oh, we gave it a good go, but he just wasn't good enough. But doing it this way is extremely risky.
Oh, so risky.
Extremely risky, because look at what Havertz did. That's a red card. I don't, whether it's soft or not, I don't care. It's a red card. The referee was shit for both sides today. We could have had 1 or 2 penalties. I thought Gyökeres one was a penalty. I thought Saka's one was a pen. Because at the end of the day, you've got the ball first, but you followed through with the intention is to stop him shooting.
If a defender did that on the pitch, that's a free kick, mate.
Exactly. So we got away with one. Again, the in-game management. There was no need for Kai Havertz to be on that pitch for more than 60 minutes.
Agreed.
And that red card incident wouldn't even be something to discuss. He's coming back from injury. He's clearly not on form. Odegaard is coming back from injury and a lack of form. Saka has had a little dip in these last 2 games. But again, he's coming back from a long-term injury, and his form is going to go up and down. So if we're going to judge these players on where we're at as a squad, yes, it's great to have all these players back. There's no point of having Timber back against Crystal Palace because he's not going to be fit enough for PSG. That is the reality. So in my head, I need Mosquera to play against Palace and play against Paris.
He's to stay on his feet.
And then Timber can hold the bench against PSG as well, because at the end of the day, unless
he'll get ripped apart.
Unless it doesn't matter, it's
he'll
irrelevant.
get ripped apart by Kvaratskhelia.
I'd rather have Mosquera for 45 minutes than Timber, and we don't know his fitness levels.
Play behind closed doors.
There's a massive risks here. Yeah, Bobby said they're gonna. But let me finish, brother. Bobby said there's gonna be a game behind closed doors. It's all bullshit, bro. How many behind closed doors games does Havertz need? How many behind closed doors games does Saka need? How many behind closed door does Odegaard, Eze need? They've all been fucking shit. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, but this is a groin injury. This is a groin injury.
Exactly. This is not the same. So this is a very difficult injury to come back from. Yeah. We are in a position. Listen, if we win the next 2 games 1-0, we're all going to be fucking laughing and dancing the next day. It's not a problem. But what I'm saying is, just like I said a few weeks ago, fasten your seatbelts, because fasten your seatbelts means it's going to be a rocky 1-0s. It's not going to be easy 3-0s like Man City are doing right now. Because I think Man City are going to pepper them tomorrow. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong. And I hope that, because they're on it.
Yeah,
they're gonna if they lose the league, they lose the league, they are going to lose it in the way we as fans would want to lose the league. Do you understand what I'm saying? So fans are going to be less.
For them.
But Bournemouth, I know their record. Bournemouth are undefeated in 16 games. The last team to beat them was us. I don't care about that. The reality is, if Man City turn up, they're winning. It's as simple as that. They're going to handle the pressure. They're going to handle the pressure.
Like Everton. They're going
to handle the pressure,
like
bro.
Everton.
Everton are not Bournemouth.
But
play. Bournemouth play the way Man City want teams to play. They're going to play open, expansive football, and they can fucking piece them up. It's not a problem.
Not
For
necessarily.
me, I don't care. Again, this is a dormant conversation about Man City. All I'm saying about Man City is they're winning their last 2 games in my head. That's my personal opinion. No one's going to change my opinion.
How much
Until it happens, I expected them to beat Everton, and they flopped for 20 minutes and they got it back. So look at the mentality. If they were that shit, it would have been they would have lost 3-1, 3-2. If we were 3-1 down at their what they call it,
their new place,
Goodison Park, whatever it's called, we were losing that game. These boys, they're tried, they're tested. Look what they done against Chelsea. Look what they done against us in the cup.
Chelsea,
yeah, so we must be shit as well then, because we lost to them in the Carabao Cup final. But you're going away from the point, my bro. The point is, they are a very, very good team. And if I was a Man City fan, that is how you lose a league title. That is how you lose cup finals, because they're fucking playing the proper way. That's what Arsenal fans are used to. Now, if we win this league, fantastic, amazing. It's been the last time we won the league. I said it before. I didn't have any grey hair, right? So I was 18 years old. Fantastic. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Win 38 games 1-0. Great. But you're going to get a lot more fasten your seatbelt moments.
Yeah.
Imagine if Havertz, okay, again, you're 1-0 up. Imagine Havertz gets sent off and we draw the game 1-1.
Yeah,
that is a negative, passive way of playing football.
Yeah, but again, it's
a
down to
very
the
dangerous.
Yeah,
they're all. I never said the manager was not.
No, but again, the manager's fucked up in terms of his lineup. Why are you experiment in a game where
it's not Anthony? It's not an experiment because he's been.
No, it isn't. It is an experiment.
Because when all these players are fit,
no, but it's an experiment. It's an experiment, bro.
He done it against West Ham.
It's an experiment, bro.
He done it against West Ham early in the season before he dislocated his shoulder.
That's the
second.
Yeah, but again, it's an experiment that he's
played Havertz before.
1 second. What would you if it's not an experiment, then what would you call it, Ali?
For me, he's gone with a team that he trusts from 2023 to play 1-2 touch football around the box and get the shots off and play triangles through the pitch.
Break it down.
And it never happened.
But it's an experiment.
Eze and Martin Odegaard. How many times has Bobby said Odegaard is a left 8? So if we're not going to play Odegaard and Eze in games like Burnley at home, for fuck's sake, when are they going to play together? Because they're not going to play PSG together, are they? They're not going to play Crystal Palace together. I'll be shocked if they do, because we'll get run over in midfield against Wharton and the like. And then the PSG side. You beat these teams, the teams that you're supposed... You think Arteta wanted a 1-0 win today? Come on. He needs to win. He needs to win this game 3-4-0, boys. If we're being honest.
I know. But again,
so now if we draw now 1-1 against Palace, Man City are going to win on goal difference because they're going to win. They'll probably win tomorrow by 2 or 3, potentially. I hope not. And then they'll beat Villa 3-0 because Unai Emery's they're going to be fatigued from the cup final.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to the point. The team that he played against, all right. I told you a lot about West Ham. West Ham in a situation, when it comes to relegation battle, West Ham are going to give it their all. We all know this. Yeah. Simple as that.
And he played Gyökeres up front with Lewis Kelly in midfield, didn't he?
He played him. And I told you that West Ham is not going to, out of all the fixtures that we had, West Ham's going to be a difficult game because they're fighting relegation. Let's keep our buck.
You're spot on. But what happened today?
But Ali, again, this is what I'm saying to you. When it comes to hold on, let me finish because I gave you the courtesy.
Okay, 1 second.
Let me finish.
The experiment was Declan Rice at right back. That was a fucking experiment.
And he fucked up.
Odegaard and Eze in midfield is not an experiment for this manager.
It is though, because again,
it's not.
I'm sorry. It is because Ali,
it's the second time they've played together.
Exactly.
Because of injuries. Because of injuries. You need to listen to Bobby. So if we're not going to have the insight of Bobby, the man with the knowledge, and he knows his ear is to the ground, it's his job. The whole point of this season was to play Eze and Odegaard together. So they have trained more than twice in training on the same side.
I get
that. But this is the thing, though.
He's not doing his job.
Yeah, because he's shit. and he needs to be sold.
Right.
But Geeks,
but he still went with it.
What did Eze do today? He was shit.
Yeah, but Geeks, this is the thing. When we played against Newcastle, it was Havertz, Saka, Eze, Odegaard, Declan Rice, Subamendi. Exactly. You go back to this 4-3-3 formation, which he did. It didn't work. Let's keep it up. It did not work. When I was saying to you about this is an experiment, because when I looked at the lineup, you've got Declan Rice at the you got Declan Rice at the bake. Declan Rice at the 6. You're playing with 2 10s. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It was not. Fundamentally, it was not gonna work. The team that he played against, West Ham, with Gyökeres, Saka, Trossard, MLS, Declan Rice, and Eze. Them lot there. How many games did them lot win, or how many games did them lot play and we won?
Yeah.
But this is what today?
What would you call Havertz today? No. What would you call Havertz today? What would you say his position?
It's a madness. It's a madness.
Right, his position
Havertz floats everywhere.
But his position,
he floats and takes up space, like we all know.
His position for Bayer Leverkusen, he was always the support striker behind Holland.
That's right.
Yeah, that's basically his natural position. The manager basically is saying, I remember we played against a team and the manager was he was the Bayer Leverkusen when Havertz was there. He said, Havertz can play anywhere. But essentially, he was behind the striker. The team that I saw today, I was just like, nah. Why are you experimenting now when the team that you've been playing, you're linking up with your most prolific striker? Why you check?
What you mean? Yeah.
So
why
what you're saying
why are you changing it for?
Okay, so if you're saying that, then Havertz should have played as the second 10 or the 10, right?
No,
Havertz should be on the plays up front.
Havertz.
If Gyökeres can play as a 10 and he's a second striker,
no, but
you can play Martin Odegaard and Havertz in the 10. And then Gyökeres up front.
The problem with this conversation is that you're both looking at it from 2 different perspectives. So
correct.
Ali, you're looking at it from a perspective of this is an experiment because this is something that the manager's done. And Anthony's looking at it from a perspective that why is he doing something that doesn't work? So therefore it's an experiment. What we're getting tangled up really is the wrong terminology, different kind of terminology. Yeah. That's all it is.
But
1 second. The bottom line is you're not happy with the lineup. And Anthony's not happy with the lineup.
Yeah,
I was absolutely fine with the lineup. But if the players are not performing on the pitch, then that's on them, and it's on the manager for selecting them. Then because you've had 8 days to work on whatever you need to work on.
But you've answered my question. You've done.
So for me, against Burnley,
I don't understand the point of it not being an experiment because. You're saying it was an experiment.
It was an experiment because
the reason I'm saying it's not an experiment is because if all these squad players were fit, we would have seen this a lot more through the season. That's a fact. Because Bobby has said that. That's a fact.
Yeah, but what also?
So we're questioning Bobby. Don't question me. I'm going from what Bobby's saying.
But Ali, again, what Bobby also said as well, he said, Kai Havertz is the key to unlocking Gyökeres. Remember that?
That's right. That's why I said play him in the 10 then and play Gyökeres up front.
But this is what I'm saying to you. Havertz is literally just, Odegaard's literally just come back from his injuries.
And I said all of that about the injuries.
Havertz, again.
Injuries out of form.
So we've gone back to this formation that I believe that we played today was a 4-3-3. Before we played with a 4-2-3-1. Yeah. So we've changed. We've gone back to the original formation that this manager knows today. For what purpose? Like I'm sorry to say,
goals but
again, if you're going to do the formation that we played against Newcastle, that was the formation that you had Odegaard. You had Eze, you had Saka, you had Havertz. Eze on the left, Saka on the right. Yeah. Havertz up top, Odegaard just behind him, and then you had Subamendi and Declan Rice. Let me finish. If you want to go with that in terms of them playing together, That's the formation that he should have done today. He shouldn't have gone to this 4-3-3 because, again, it didn't work. Eze, non-existent. On the left-hand side, instead of playing Trossard again should have been started. Trossard should have been on the bench and then let him come on second half going forward. If you want to do this whole thing about Odegaard and Eze playing together, play Eze on the left.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Odegaard in the middle.
I think.
Yeah.
Anthing on the right and then Havertz up top.
Too many passenger players.
Exactly. That's in terms of them playing together. You can play them together, but play them in that formation. Don't play them in a 4-3-3 when you got 2 10s and a 6 because we've seen that once before and it did not work. So go back to a 4-2-3-1 and play those guys as it is. Simple as that.
That's fair enough.
You doing this formation here? Unfortunately, it didn't work today. And again, it was an experiment. You're playing 2 guys and Declan Rice, knowing that this formation that you've gone back to, for what purpose? The formation that you was playing before, when you had your most potent striker up front because he was getting in the goals. We've seen that how many times with him, Eze, Saka, Trossard, MLS and Declan Rice. They were scoring goals. They were doing the business. We won how many games with that formation? But yet you want to decide to go and try and change it up because why? Oh, it's Burnley. Why?
I think the point Ali's trying to make though, and I think this is where there's the clash of opinions. I think the point Ali's trying to make, listening to yourself, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ali. I think Ali is arguing that it's not an experiment because this is what Arteta would have been intended to do all along.
Should have signing Gyökeres. It wasn't.
It just so happens that these players have been injured. These players haven't been available. But had these players been not injured and available, we would have seen this.
Yeah, but it would have been a 4-2. It would have been a 4-2-1. It would have been a 4-2-1-3. That's the formation essentially going forward.
I completely understand where you're coming from because for me,
I understand what Anthony's saying. All I'm saying
for me is like if you've got a formula that's working, why change it? I agree. Even if your intention is to play with these players at this stage of the season, you stumbled across something that has seen an upturn in performance. You've stumbled across something that when we seen the Gyökeres, Trossard, Saka starting three, it seems to have improved the way we play. MLS is coming into midfield. We look a completely different side.
More power, more pace.
Exactly. And all of a sudden, Gyökeres isn't injured. MLS is available, and yet all of a sudden in this game, which was a must-win, obviously against Burnley, it seems as though like you've dropped MLS and you dropped Gyökeres. So I do understand both perspectives. I think
I just feel like this
is frustrating.
So instead of experimenting, it's just another. We've got more than one way of playing and more than one system the way we play. In my personal opinion,
I'd say
I get that.
These coaches. Listen, if you can't, with all due respect, tinker against Burnley, Wolverhampton away at home and shit like that, then what's the fucking point of signing Eze? There's no point because at the end of the day, these are the games you're supposed to be racking up your goals.
Yeah,
let's be honest. We should have won this game 3-4-5-0 because if we end up drawing, we're not winning on goal difference. That's what the scenario is now. That's the reality.
With everything I've heard,
for me, I feel like that lineup what G's just put up is absolutely fine. They just did not perform. Now I get what Anthony's saying and the rest of the geeks and everyone's saying about the formation and etc. But he's not going to take out Trossard because he's on a little bit of form, and he's not going to. He's not going
to. I'm disagreeing with you. 1 minute, Anthony. 1 minute. You're saying you're not taking out Trossard because he's in a bit of form, yet you take out Gyökeres for an out of form Havertz.
Absolutely, that's what he's done. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Out MLS for
that's a fact.
MLS for an out of form Odegaard
because MLS is not as attacking as Odegaard in his head. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys.
But Odegaard isn't doing it. So
that's right. I agree with you all. If that was my lineup, I'm having Miles Lewis-Skelly, Declan Rice, and Eze in the 10, and I'm having Gyökeres, Trossard, and Saka. I'm not saying his lineup was correct. I'm trying to get into his head and explain why he's done what he's done. In his head, it's not an experiment. That's what I'm saying. As
No,
as
It's a
fans, we may
self-sabotage.
say
That's
that.
what it is.
Tinkering. He's
It's
tinkering
a,
with something that he needs to keep solid now.
But I
We
also,
need to build.
But
Playing
we've
his
kept,
favourites, man.
boys, can I have
Playing his
so,
favourites.
Yeah, go on,
listening
go on.
to all of your guys' arguments here? I think it's just semantics.
It is.
Putting that
It's
team out
terminology.
today, putting that team out today should have humped Burnley.
Yeah,
that's
fact.
correct. That's my
Many
point.
passengers.
Okay,
That's my
So,
point.
number
That
one.
is my point. And how are you going to get players into form without playing them against Burnley? This was the only opportunity he was going to get to play them, to get sharp. And they've
Yeah,
let
but
him
you
down.
know,
They've
no,
let him
yeah.
down.
But it's again, it's that sentimental thing I
Hang
keep
on,
saying. Like, I don't care. Listen, I don't care about the sentiment. If you're out of form,
Yeah.
I don't care. You don't do it now. If it was earlier in the season, I could understand. But
Yeah.
you want to do it now, knowing that stakes are on the line in terms of goal difference. You get where I'm coming from in terms of
Yeah, I do.
the goal difference that we have to.
Did we play
get
better?
across the
Did we look more threatening, and did we score any goals when Gyökeres and MLS were on the pitch?
We look better.
So they've all had a
I
stinker, haven't they?
better, but we
No,
didn't
I wouldn't
get-
say they had a stinker. They look better.
I do.
I think
I-
when Gyökeres came on, he looked better. He did better than Kai Havertz. So I'll give you that. He looked better than Kai Havertz.
Beating
Man,
defenders.
running down
Yeah.
the goalkeeper, and obviously that should have been a penalty.
Right.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna-
Losing his strength and all them things. There, it's just like
I'm gonna
Go on,
move that.
Dodgy.
I'm gonna come to you, Dodgy, and then we're gonna move it along because we're gonna be here till like Christmas otherwise.
Exactly.
So Dodgy, have your say, and then we're gonna get on to
No, because
obviously
look,
performances
guys,
of players.
you guys are both saying the right thing. You're just disagreeing on semantics, like I said. So I think we all agree that the lineup was wrong, but that lineup he chose should have dipped on Burnley. We know that, but that's the style of football we're playing. What I will say is Havertz scored us the winning goal, so we can't knock the guy too much. Yes, he should have come off in the 60th minute, right? Simple as that. And Gyökeres should have come on because Gyökeres does make our team better, in my opinion.
Beats up the defenders.
Where we are now, guys, is that we are where we are. I also think he was trying to give everyone a few minutes for the Champions League, right? I think he was trying to get some minutes in Odegaard's legs because I know we can sit here and we can go, oh, yeah, but Odegaard this, Odegaard that. Odegaard won us the previous game as well against West Ham when he came on.
That's right.
and that's what he should have been. He should have been on the bench.
Yeah, but
I'd have left him on the bench.
He probably wanted him to get a few minutes in his legs before the next two games. So let's look at that. We know that Odegaard's his favorite. Okay, we know that. But I think let's move on because I think we have absolutely demolished the last 14
20.
minutes.
But listen, all I'll say to finish this little bit, I'm thinking about how Mikel Arteta is thinking, not how Coach Ali is thinking. That's the perspective I'm giving. I wanted Gyökeres. I wanted Gyökeres to start, and I wanted Lewis Skelly to start. Let me make that clear to everybody. Yeah? But that was the thinking and the psyche of the manager. That's what he's gone with. He's thinking, okay, let me play with 2 10s. Let me play a little bit more. I might end up getting 2 or 3 if we score a couple of goals early. It never happened. So you got to blame the players for not delivering, and you got to blame the manager for not making the sub soon enough to adjust that. He could have brought on Lewis Skelly in the 55th minute, and he would have saved himself this conversation. Because if we had won 3-4-0, I don't think I would have said what I've said.
Everyone would have praised him for making.
Do you know what I mean?
Facts. Right. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go around the panel, and you've literally each got a minute, because we're not gonna be on live for about 2 hours. So I want you to pick out your player of the match or the player that you was impressed with the most.
That's hard.
Before we move on to our Arteta review. For me, I'm gonna start with Trossard. I've absolutely destroyed this guy at times throughout this season, and rightly so. I think he's overall had a really, really poor season, particularly compared to the standards he had when he first joined the club. But I feel like during the run-in, not to say he scored a hatful of goals or he's made, multiple assists. But what I have seen is I've seen an upturn in form. I've seen some really good performances. It feels like when I watch him that he understands what's at stake. It feels like he wants to give everything between now and the end of the season. I'm not going to give it to Declan Rice because Declan Rice is amazing. He's phenomenal. But he's for me, he's been like that all season. So for me, the player that surprised me the most, that I was most pleased with by their performance, was Trossard. I think he's in a good run of form. I think he's cemented that left wing position between now and the end of the season before he's moved on in the summer. So well done, Trossard. Dodsey.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trossard as well. I just think he's whatever's happened, he's come back. He's got the mentality. He knows what's at stake, and I agree wholeheartedly with you. I think I've slagged that brother off, a lot, and I think he deserves his flowers because I think he has played very, very well. And I also want to give a shout out to Calafiore. I thought defensively he was very good today, and he dynamically changes us. Playing against low block teams and stuff like that, creates a lot of space for Trossard to do what he does. So those were my two standout players.
No problem. Brenny? Standout player.
Declan Rice. Declan Rice, for me, I know he got man of the match today, and I agree with you, G. He's been doing that all season.
Yeah,
very consistent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's there's times where he may get a 6, but it's very rare. But 7 and above, right? But Trossard stood out for me today. His work rate, his hunger, his determination. It's back. It's back because it disappeared a few weeks ago. He's back with vengeance. What he did in terms of, I was impressed with what he did in terms of that little bit of trickery he did, and he was unlucky not to score as well, hitting the post. But he was back to his best, and you've heard it how many times from myself and Bobby when we do streams together. We said it for many years. We said when Trossard turns up, Arsenal usually get 3 points, or we get a big win in the Champions League, for example. So Trossard, standout man today. I was dreading him. I was thinking, I hope Arteta don't take him off because he's playing so well. Because when we was 1-0 up, and I was thinking, please, if you're going to make subs, man, in like 6 minutes, please don't take off Trossard. And that's all I was thinking. But you know what? He did really well today.
Now, Fez, Geeks.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what you boys have been saying. I think me and you, G, have said before, is it a Martinelli game or is it a Trossard game? And right now, every game's a Trossard game because of the way that he's playing.
Absolutely.
Declan Rice was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. He was first in so many stats today. Without him, we don't get over the line. I would just like to say, though, Mosquera gets a shout out from me. There were frustrating elements of his play today. We're falling over, laying down, bit nervy in a couple of bits, but there were some extremely good moments in his play as well. So I just wanted to give him a shout out too.
No problem. Coach?
Yeah, love you, boys. Listen, I echo everything that everyone's saying. I think Trossard was our standout. Declan Rice a close second, if not joint first. Just because of Trossard's dip in form, like the boys have said, you probably edge it towards him for now in this particular game. And just got a big up, obviously, the defense. They were solid as ever. And they just got to do it one more time for the league, and then we'll go from there. And I don't want to talk about the Champions League because that's miles away. We've got a fucking another 100 minutes to play at this point before we even get anywhere close to that. So if they can get drilled and they're ready for the weekend and he picks the right team, we've got a decent chance, haven't we? So
I'm so nervous, mate.
Absolutely.
I'm so same. If it's anything like that, oh my gosh.
If he plays the team he did today against Palace, then I will go mad.
We draw or lose.
I will then get pissed off because then what Anthony was saying about the control, the pace and power that Geeks has mentioned and Dodsey and OG have said with Gyökeres, then it doesn't make sense. And then you're fucking just experimenting for the sake of experimenting, or you're because these are not experiments. These are scenarios you play out in training, and then for us it's an experiment because we don't see it. They do this every day, I'm presuming, and they should be anyway. Different scenarios. If someone gets injured, this is what we're going to do. This is the backup fallout plan, A, B, C, D, E, whatever. So they went to one of these plans, but you got to see on the eye test, Lewis Skelly in midfield is a must, and Gyökeres up front is a fucking must.
I actually think he went into this game thinking he was going to score 3 or 4 goals.
Absolutely, because then you're comfortable, then aren't you? In terms of we're +3. I don't think Bournemouth are going to let in 3 and lose by 3. No. Then if we draw and then you know what I mean, we'll nick it on goal difference. But now he's put more pressure on himself and the lads.
Yeah,
you got to win now, boy, because 0-0, 1-1, 2-2 ain't doing it.
Facts. Big Ann, obviously standout player and why?
Yeah, shout out first of all, Anne Hathaway. Yeah, shout out Anne Hathaway, boy, because after I'm hearing that they left together and things like Trossard's found a new groove, you know what I'm saying? So big you up, you know what I'm saying? It's like obviously
Devil wears Prada, mate.
You know what I'm saying?
He needs a bit of end product. I don't want he's firing
let's send Nonny there.
He's firing blanks at the moment. We need a bit of GA, bruv, to go with this Anne Hathaway thing. Otherwise,
listen, at the end of the day, listen, if Weathers, you know what I'm saying, if that's giving him his mojo back, then Anne Hathaway, I salute you, you know what I'm saying? But you know, he has stepped up, you know, the last couple of games, even from the Fulham game when he provided Gyökeres with that assist, and then obviously West Ham where, you know, did what he needed to do, and now he's just unlucky today that he hit the post. But you know, shout out to him. Obviously, my boy, you know, DR41 again. Mr. Consistency in that midfield, that tackle that he did after they lost the ball, I was just like,
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he weren't there, bro. If he weren't there, I'd have lost my shit today. But again, you know what I'm saying? If for me it's Trossard, then him, I'll have to give a shout out to Calla, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously I've been saying Hincapie snatched his chain for that left back position. Yeah. You get where I'm coming from. So
it's a good battle.
Calafiore putting a performance. Mosquera, you know, for his first game to come in to actually play, obviously after, you know, Benny Blanco, you know, injury, you know, he had some shaky moments, but, you know, he grew into the game. So, yeah, hats off to them lot, man.
No problem. Now we're going to move on to, obviously, Arteta review before we end the show. I'm going to start with my opinion on him. We've had a lot of debate, obviously, with regards to lineup, players, experiments, not experiments. For me, he got the lineup wrong. You know, whether we want to call it, this is something he would have done previously had players been available. At the end of the day, for me, he stumbled across. He in many ways, you know, you could kind of call, you know, MLS coming into the side and then coming up with the front three a little bit of an accident. I mean, who knows what goes on behind closed doors? But at the end of the day, for me, I looked at the lineup and I actually posted on X and I said, I'm not even going to chat about the lineup until the game is done. And that was basically me saying I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And it only added to the pre-game nerves for me. Because all week I've been nervous about this game. I've seen people splashing 4s, 5s, 6s, and I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. I haven't seen it all season, and I can't see it. I can't see it happening now. So for me, the lineup wasn't right. The performance, bar maybe how we started the game, it was generally a poor performance. We nicked the goal. We didn't really go at them further in the second half to seal the game. Defensively, however, we were really good. I feel like he made the substitutions at the right time, but I wasn't entirely pleased with the impact that the subs made, and not on a personal level against the players, but when I saw the 3 subs come on, I kind of expected that to rejuvenate us. I kind of expected that we'd push on and get maybe the second or the third goal, but it just didn't happen. At the end of the day, though, we had a job to do. We did it in a really ugly manner, but we got it done. And at the end of the day, had we drawn tonight or had we lost tonight, I would have been absolutely spitting bullets. So all in all, I'm not going to be too harsh, but I'm not going to be too over the top because I'm going to take everything into context, and I'm going to give him a 6 if I'm completely honest.
Damn.
I'm going to give him a 6. I'm not blown away by the lineup. I'm not blown away by the performance. Other than the defense, holding it down and the substitutions being at the right time and us getting the win, that's what literally gets him a 6. Because if I take away the performance of the defense and I take away, the fact that we actually got the win, I mean, this would have been this. Had we not won tonight, it would have been rock bottom.
Yeah,
it would have been embarrassing.
It would have been really, really bad. So for me, 5, I would think maybe is harsh. Some of you might say, but for me, I think 6 is a fair. I think it was all right overall with the context of everything given. So it's a 6 for me for Arteta. I'll come to you first, Coach, because a lot of the time I come to you last. I'll come to you first. What's your Arteta review out of 10?
5 or 6? I'll give him a 5 because you gave him a 6. So he ain't getting more than a 6. So 5 it is. For me, again, I'll stick by what I said. The lineup it is what it is. I think they should have performed better on the pitch. I think he should have made his subs sooner, 10 minutes before he done it, to potentially get a bit more impetus into the game in our favour. We didn't really create too many clear-cut opportunities. Our goalie didn't really get tested either. For me, we never really scored the players because I went off on one. But I'd give them overall as a team, apart from Declan Rice, Trossard, and the 2 centre-backs, I'd probably give everyone a 6 or below in terms of their individual performances for today. And that just summed it up. So is it that obviously it's the pressure of the occasion, the pressure of the lineup that the manager went with? These are all the things that these players now in these last 2 games have to deal with. And they got to really stand strong like you did today, but try to create just a little bit more. We're not asking for 10 more chances. Just give us another 2-3 chances so we can get that second goal. And then the game's done pretty much. All right. But what I will say to these players going into the Palace game, because I'm not sure if I'll be here for the preview, is don't do a Wolverhampton Wanderers away, lads. Because you were 2-0 up in that game and look what happened. This is why everyone on the panel and the majority of the Arsenal fan base are not happy with the amount of goals we scored today. And I know that sounds very privileged and very spoiled attitude to have, but the reality is, unfortunately, in my mind, Man City are winning these 2 games. And I hope this time tomorrow I may be wrong. But then the next target for me is, okay, yeah, we won the league. I want 85 points. So we have to win, but make it a little bit easier on yourself and your players by making the subs a little bit earlier, by selecting the right team from the start. And we don't have to have these debates then. We're debating something else that's happened in the game. This debate is happening because of his selection and of his ideology and what he thought was going to happen. And it didn't come right. So hence why we've broken it as we have. He needs to improve on that, because I'm worried about next season with this guy in charge. I can't lie, because he can say whatever he wants to the board to get a contract. He's still going to make these same mistakes, in my personal opinion. You can have Ronaldo, Messi, and Ibrahimovic, and he'll still be doing this type of stuff, in my personal opinion. So that's Mikel. And I hope I'm wrong on all these things, because that means we're winning a lot more. We're being entertained as fans a lot more in terms of how we play football, and we're winning a lot more trophies. And that's what we want. That's what we want. But it's difficult. We shall see. We shall see. I'm confident on the weekend, but I'm in a mental state where I'm only going to lose my shit fully if we don't end up winning at Sellers Park, because these results of just 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 has affected our goal difference.
It's handed
And
City the draw.
Absolutely, bro. And hopefully they can draw tomorrow. But at the moment, with Guardiola's news breaking this evening, what Bobby said a good while ago, they're going to be up for it even more now. And I'm sure these players knew and had a feeling that their manager was leaving anyway. But now it's out in the open. It can go one of two ways. It can go the Klopp way, or they're going to fight it for him to the death and start winning 4 or 5. That's what's going to happen. Because they got nothing to lose. They got nothing to lose, have they, G?
No, they don't.
Because it's in Arsenal's hands. Fuck it, lads. Go out and express yourself. Let's try to win these next 2 games, 3-4-0. And if Arsenal fuck it up, that's on them. Let's just play. Let's
It's a lot
enjoy
easier
it.
to chase than to stay ahead, isn't it? It's a lot easier. Less pressure. Geeks, Arteta review out of 10 and why?
He gets a 5. And his choices over the last few games has handed that draw to City. We can't draw now. We could have gone into this game had we sorted out our goal difference against West Ham, Burnley, and all these other teams. Had we played a bit more positively, had he sorted out the attack, which we knew we had a problem from like September, October, we wouldn't be in this situation. Now
Well
we can't
said.
draw.
Well said, Geeks.
Can't draw. So his tactics and his choices compromised us at West Ham. And it's compromised us versus Burnley. I don't know how they're picking things, what they're making choices, G. I don't know if they're using data over eye test. But how do you think that the Odegaard that has played this past 2 seasons is the answer? I need some Arsenal fans, clear-eyed logic. You need to look at it at a cold light of day. Well
said.
Because there is too many times I heard Coach say it, and I'm not coming at you, Coach.
No, go on.
But people say Odegaard is a left 8, and here's why he's not. This is why he's not a left 8.
I think he's too weak.
He has no defensive bone in his body.
Correct.
Players run off him. He will point, and we have a vulnerability when he's in the side. And then Kai Havertz. What have you? I know Kai got the header today, and apart from that corner aside, Saka didn't put in the right performance. Kai didn't put in the right performance. Odegaard didn't put in the right performance. We had too many players stuck over on the right-hand side looking at each other. Trossard had an amazing game on the left. Gyökeres is in form. You took him out. Miles is in form. You took him out. We've lost drive. We've lost balance. And we just don't move the ball quick enough. And this is all on Arteta. So when he made the substitutions, I felt it was too late. I felt like he needed to do it on the hour mark because we lost control of the game there for a while. And it was just kind of like, even so, that first hour, was you really looking at that game happy with everything that you were seeing? Like it is, our passing is the next person in a safe position. It's not, I'm getting to goal and I want to score. And that's what's got to change these final 2 games. I'm fearful for Palace. I am not optimistic on it whatsoever. And I don't see us beating PSG. That is me being on the level 5.
The 2 Ps, Palace and Paris. Let's go.
No problem.
Lovely.
We're going to come to you, Dodsey. Arteta review and why?
Yeah, I mean, he just makes it so difficult to give him above a 5 or a 6. I mean, guys, if we get to next weekend or this weekend, if we get to this weekend, this Sunday, and we're lifting the trophy,
fucking hell,
we're all going to give him a 10, aren't we? Because he's managed to do something that not many managers have been able to do, and not for the last 20 years. So, I struggle. It's like he gives me such a headache because in one situation I want to look at it and go, we've conceded the least goals we've ever conceded in a season. We've won the most games we've ever won in a season. Okay, but
we conceded less.
Okay, but what I'm saying is he makes it so hard to criticize him because he's winning. But what I want to do is criticize him for his approach. So pre-game, when you're training, what is he watching? Because is something happening different in training than what we're seeing on the pitch?
I wondered this.
100% it is.
If I'm sitting there and we know Odegaard hasn't been out of the season, we know Saka hasn't been out of the season, we know. I mean, I put Havertz in the same realm as Jesus. I don't like Havertz as a footballer. I don't like the way he plays a football. I think he looks like a giraffe running up front. He doesn't fill me with, oh, Havertz is playing, he's going to bang goals in. He hasn't banged goals in us, which is why we bought Gyökeres in the summer. So
too many chances.
When he makes these decisions, I don't know if he's making these decisions based on the next 2 games. Is he trying to give some minutes so that Havertz can come off the bench and play in the PSG game or the Palace game? All I know is he has got to select a formula that has worked in the last 2 games, and he didn't do it today. So for that reason, purely on that reason only, because he got the win, guys. You know, I know there's a lot of negativity because of the nervous energy that we all have in us and the PTSD from previous years. We are 1 win away from winning the league against a team that I find it very difficult, even if they play their best team for longer than 60 minutes, because 3 days later they are playing in a European final. So from my point of view, select the right team and we should get the victory next weekend, like we should have done today. We should have been a lot easier than it was. And I think a lot of that's down to the players. I think a lot of it's down to the nerves. I think, but can he control that? Maybe by making the right selection, you could say.
Yeah.
But again, he cannot control how they are playing when they're out there.
Correct as well.
On mental.
He must be seeing something in training that's made him turn around and go, do you know what? We can bang 4 or 5 past these guys. I'm going to play Eze, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got it wrong. Fine. For that, he gets a 5 from me. But I just think there's more to it. And I think, you know, I would love, in fact, I wouldn't, but I would love to be able to be involved and watch what's happening in training on a daily basis. And I'd love to know what his mindset is and what he's doing, because I slagged him. I've changed my opinion, man. I want him gone even at the end of the season. And that's bad. Even if he wins, and that's bad because I've always been Arteta in. But I hope this stumble is just to get us over the line. And then next season we play more expansive football, a little bit more freedom, because we know how to do it. We know how to negate, you know, other teams getting ahead of us and blah, blah, blah. Hopefully Pep's not there. That would be another bonus. But for me, it's a 5, and that's purely down to the prep before the game, because I don't think he can do a lot during the game. That's down to the players. But yeah, so a 5 from me.
No problem. Brenny, Arteta review and why?
Yeah, he's not getting a 6 from me, man. I would say I'd have to go 5 as well. Didn't like the lineup when I saw it. I was pissed about it, and I thought, what's he doing? But then I actually had a feeling. I spoke to a couple of guys who are Arsenal fans at work, and I said, I have a feeling he's going to go with 2 of his favourites tonight, because it's Burnley, and I just wanted to see the 11 that he went with last week against West Ham. Well, you know what? When you look at it now, that, you know, it's done. We got the 3 points, but then I'm at times when you see Arteta on the touchline from the TV screen, or if anyone was at the game today, and it's like he just seems content in not just pushing the guys forward for a second goal, and then he's always like with this, you know, and like just keeping it tight. And I'm thinking, this is Burnley, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get it. If Champions League final, we go 1-0 up on 27 minutes, and he wants to do that, by all means, because they're a juggernaut, PSG, by all means, I do not have an issue with Arteta setting up defensively to defend a 1-goal lead if we're defending so well. I don't have a problem with that come 30th of May. I'm not going to moan about it. But when you're playing the likes of Burnley, and, you know, it's a penultimate game, big game, put more pressure on City. You know, I was as you know, I was with Damos on Saturday, and even he was saying, "Yeah, if we can get a 5-0, man, it would even that would get City thinking. You know, that would get City thinking. Well, in a minute, you know, this Arsenal's no joke because now City has seen that. It'll, you know, I agree with Ali. I actually think tomorrow they're going to wipe the floor with Bournemouth. Forget Bournemouth's form. I think they're going to wipe the floor with Bournemouth tomorrow because at this time, if that game was if Bournemouth Man City was a few months ago, I'd say Bournemouth home win all day long. But this is a different kind of pressure now. Bournemouth is still playing for a European spot. So what is with Arteta as well? And I think Ali said, you know what, this football that we've seen this season, not so much the Champions League, even though, albeit, you know, it's not been. I mean, not Atletico Madrid game. I was quite happy with that, but I thought the quarterfinal performance was like we did what we had to do, but you know, it was that's a word. I was going to use other words, but yeah. So you know what I mean. So for league games, I've only seen about maybe 11 or 12 maybe games in the league this season that I've been like, wow, been really impressed with. And I know, and Bobby did say that they're not going to play this football next season. That's not going to happen, even if Arteta is still here. I would like for him to go out on a high. You know, after being here almost 6 years, spent almost over £1 billion over the course of a few seasons. Yeah, we had some good buys, had some bad buys, but what wound me up about him was it weren't so much him, even though I'm not a fan of his as a manager. I mean, I didn't mind him as a player, but it's just fans as well over the last few years when they bigged him the way he was bigged up right over the last few seasons. It was like I said to people, why are you talking like he's won 3 league titles and 2 Champions Leagues and 3 FA Cups? You know what I mean? He's a good coach. I'm not a fan of him as a manager. No, I think he's a very good coach. But man management at times it's a lot to be desired. And if he was to leave if he was to say, right, I'm gonna go out on a high and win us the league in the Champions League. And you know what? I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with that. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether look, there's managers I've worked under, I cannot stand them, but I still do the job that's required. So you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like all of us on here, and you all know me well now, I've never ever, and I hate it when fans say it because it winds me up, is when they say, right, I want Arsenal to lose so that Arteta could go.
No, that's ridiculous.
That. No, I hate that. It winds me up. It winds me up. And I've heard a few fans say it. I said, no, I don't want that. I want Arsenal to win. I always want Arsenal to win games of football, no matter who's in charge. I didn't like Bruce Rioch, but I want him to win games of football.
Yeah,
always. So you know what I mean. That's just my take on it. I mean, it can make me happy if we deliver the title and the Champions League. But right now it's all about the bread and butter, and that's the Premier League.
Facts. Big Ant, you're gonna close the show. We're looking for your Arteta review out of 10 and why.
He gets a 4.
Yeah, fair enough.
He gets a 4. Lineup was wrong. I don't care what people want to say. The lineup was a shit show. In a game where goal difference matters, you're playing a guy who he hasn't had the best season. He's been injured time after time. You're playing another man who he brought in a striker because this guy couldn't do the business. But yeah, you decided to experiment today for a purpose. The thing with me, tomorrow's game, you have to look at it like this way. Yes, Pep's leaving. Whoop-de-doo, he's going. Round of applause. Yeah, you're one of the most successful managers. You're going.
Still a twat, though.
Yeah. I personally think my gut feeling is that because Bournemouth know that they could be in a Champions League, they could go into Champions League next season, they're going to make it tough for City, regardless of the fact if City want to try bring the pressure to them. I personally think that Bournemouth is going to make life difficult for them, just like Everton. When everyone was saying, yeah, City are going to wipe Everton, City are going to wipe the floor with Everton, etc., etc. I still think that Bournemouth's got something for them because they know what's at stake now in terms of Champions League. They know that if they win tomorrow, Liverpool drop points and they win on their last day, that's them in the Champions League.
Guaranteed,
so that's going to give them extra incentive and motivation to take it to City. Don't forget Bournemouth last season. This is the same Bournemouth team, and they had Semenyo and the others. They were ripping teams apart left, right, and centre. They were ripping teams left, right, and centre. Yes, they've lost Semenyo. Yes, they've lost Augustin or whatever, the defender, and they've lost a couple of other players. But look what they did to us. They came to our backyard garden. They destroyed us.
You know
what I'm saying? They destroyed.
It's the manager's last game as well, Anthony.
Exactly. So again, this whole, this notion that, City gonna pepper them, I don't think so.
I hope you're right. Man.
Yeah, but like I said,
it's just two different theories, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think 3-1 City.
It goes. Put it this way: it can go either way. Football's a strange game; it can go either way. If this was at the Etihad, it would have been a different story. But again, this is at Bournemouth's ground. They've been unbeaten. They've got something to play for. The manager's going. They've got an extra incentive. So does City. You get where I'm coming from. So
yeah,
it goes hand in hand. But in a game where we needed to win by a comfortable margin, and what this manager did, again, it's like a relationship. You're going to self-sabotage a relationship going forward, and he's done exactly that in terms of this lineup today. Like, for me, he gets a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, but I don't care, that, the performance was shit. The striker, the only person who had a good game, up front was Trossard. Other than that,
shocking.
Shocking. It was completely shocking. So for me, he gets a 4 out of 10.
No problem. So yes, we've been online for an hour and 40 minutes. Damn, I am absolutely exhausted.
Sorry, G. G's got to get up at 6.
Bruv, listen, I'm shattered, bro. I'm absolutely shattered. So listen, it wasn't the performance we wanted. But it was definitely a result we needed. I think that's the best way to put it. Moving forward, obviously Bobby will be back on Saturday. Friday night. Oh, Friday.
Because he's doing the playoffs over the weekend.
Okay, so Bobby will be back on Friday night for a preview of the Palace game. I'll be back on Sunday for an instant match reaction for the Palace game, which is going to be absolutely insane.
You know what, G? Sorry, G. Can I cut you? G, let me say something, right? What you just said, instant match reaction. If we
need to go early
on Sunday, it cannot be an instant reaction. We got to savor it, man.
No, I don't know. I think we should come on.
I think we should. If we're winning by a good margin, we should be on like 5 minutes before, so we fucking all celebrate together.
Cool, well, listen, man. As my gran would say, well, we got to turn the TV off. When the trophy up, burying and thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though, man. I know what you're saying. Like, we got to just.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I think we'll just play it by ear. I mean, who knows?
5 minutes before the end, I think we've got to switch it on.
Who knows?
Yeah, the reactions. That's the natural.
If tomorrow night,
I want to see the trophy lift personally.
If there's
exactly.
If Man City give Bournemouth a drubbing, then obviously. But I mean, even tomorrow night, I mean, who knows? If Bournemouth do the unbelievable and get a point or even win the game, who knows? We might
Why
even
not?
be live tomorrow night. So we'll see
Let's
how
do
it
that.
goes, man. Because I tell you, yeah, I might be tired, but boy, if they get a result, I'll be full of.
We're
full of
lively quick.
tomorrow night. So
And
I'll
anyone that
be
says
up.
they're not
I'll be
watching
up
the
till
game
3 in the
tomorrow
morning,
night
man.
is lying.
yeah,
Oh,
the plan
I'll be up
so
till 3 in the
far.
morning. We do that.
The plan so far at the moment is Bobby will be back for obviously a preview on Friday night. We'll be back for a kind of match reaction at some point on the Sunday for the Palace game. And who knows, if the football gods shine on us tomorrow night, I'm sure we will be live. But it's still in our hands. You know, we've got a game against Palace at the weekend. And like I said, I'll close on the fact that, look, it wasn't the performance that we wanted, but it was definitely the result that we needed. So from me, a very tired G Talks Arsenal. From the panel, thank you, Dodzy, Geeks, Brenny, Big Ant, and Coach Ali. Thank you, everybody who's in the chat, watching, over 200 people on a very late Monday night, 20 to 12.
Thank you, everyone.
Big up yourselves. If for whatever
Thanks,
reason you are not subscribing to the channel, please do. We're fast approaching 500 subscribers. So, yeah, man, it's all love, man. I'm about to take my ass to bed. Because I gotta teach. I gotta teach some. I gotta teach.
Love you, lads.
Take care,
Love you,
some
boys.
delinquents.
All love and peace.
Enough
All
love
love and
man.
peace.
I gotta find the energy to teach some South Coast delinquents tomorrow. So yeah. So
Drink some Red Bull, man. Keep yourself energy.
from
Drink
me
some
and
Red
the
Bull,
team,
man.
it's a God bless and it's a good night. Take it easy.
Come on,
people.
Arsenal.
Take care,
Come on,
everyone.
you got it.